Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Vishal from Maharaja Agarsen University, Badi, Himachal Pradesh. Today we are going to discuss about the module Foreign Capital Flows under the paper International Business Operations. Students, after completing this module, you will be able to understand the meaning and concept of foreign capital flows, understand the importance of foreign capital flows, know about the factors affecting foreign capital flows, understand about the problems in foreign capital flows, and know about various instruments for raising foreign capital. Students, over recent decades, there has been a steady increase in cross border financial flows around the world. With the rapidly changing world economy, every country around the globe is trying to integrate its economy with the rest of the world, leading to a higher standard of living. In other words, competition, gains in productivity, lower trade barriers, and lower cost of external financing on a worldwide basis are the key factors that have led to the growth in world trade and rising standards of living. A key feature of global financial integration during the past 3 decades is the shift in the composition of capital flows to developing and emerging market economies. Foreign capital flows have been playing a key role in promoting international business and cooperation among different countries. Almost every developed country of the world in its initial stage of development had made use of foreign capital to make the deficiency of its domestic savings. In the 17th and 18th century, England borrowed from Holland, and in the 19th and 20th century, England gave loans to many countries. US, the richest country of the world, had borrowed heavily in the 19th century, and now it has become the biggest lender country of the world. US provides facilities for financing foreign trade transactions of different countries and creates the environment for lending and borrowing internationally. The capital transactions take place through global integration of financial instruments and capital flows between different countries. The financial market in the US is one of the most powerful international financial markets. It has many innovative instruments which attracts the finance from global players. The euro market is a major global market. The Japanese market has also many funding instruments, of which samurai bonds are the most popular foreign yen bond. Similarly, German market and Swiss financial market are also an important financial markets of the world. The borrowers in this market are banks, corporate organization, government, and other countries. The Swiss market is attractive because it has political stability and a very high rate of savings. The Australian market is known for offshore bond. Their Yankee Kangaroo bonds are well known in the international markets, especially in the American, Asian, and Euro market. The London money market is the most significant financial market for pound sterling. Thus, foreign capital flows have been significant in promoting integration of financial markets. Meaning of foreign capital. Foreign capital refers to the investment of capital by foreign government institution, private individuals, international organization in a country. Foreign capital includes foreign aid, commercial borrowings, and foreign investment. Foreign aid includes foreign grants, concessional loans, etc. Foreign capital is invested in the form of foreign currency, foreign machines, and foreign technical know how. Foreign capital has many forms like foreign collaborations, loan in the form of foreign currency, and investments in equity capital, etc. The government from time to time frame new policies for attracting foreign capital. It is used as a tool for promoting economic development and to make the balance of payment favorable. India's domestic financial market comprises the money market, the credit market, the government security market, the equity market, the corporate debt market, and the foreign exchange market. Importance of foreign capital. Foreign capital has many benefits. Primarily, it integrates different countries together. There is an advantage for both developed and developing countries in assisting each other. The developed countries transfer their resources to develop the resources of the developing countries. In return for their services, the developed countries earn a rate of interest on the services and the capital provided by them. Some of the advantages of developing foreign capital in a country are as follows. Integration. Foreign capital helps to internationalize a country from closed economy to an open one. When a country has surplus funds to invest, there is an outflow of capital from the country and an inflow into another country which has positive for funds. Technology. Movement of capital creates a network whereby production can be carried out at the country where labor is cheap and technology is backward. Transfer of technology from technologically superior country to at less developed country upgrades the facilities and technologies of the developing country. Penetration of products. Foreign capital is able to bring about competition and increase in products by offering choices to the population. New products will create new markets and more business for different countries. Capital will flow from one country to another wherever it is desired. Utilization of productive capacity. When demand for a product is accelerated internationally, the productive capacity of production units is fully utilized. This will bring about higher profits and will upgrade technologically sound products. Risk sharing. When two countries decide to do business together, there would be sharing of risk in capital financing. This reduces the risk for both the countries. Competition. A protected market without any competition is unable to grow because of restrictions. In India, government followed PA restrictive policy with the state playing the main role in development. There were many barriers in trade due to restrictions and regulations. The non-competitive attitude became a restraining factor in India's development. In 1991, it had to liberalize its economic policies to let the market forces operate. Competition through demand and supply conditions opened up the market and encouraged growth in business and development in industries. Economic growth. The contribution of foreign investments encourages economic growth in a country through development of skills, technology, communication, and computer networks. It also brings about employment. The saving and investment process is accelerated with higher business and greater production. Factors affecting international capital flows. There are many factors which affect international movement of capital from one country to another. Some of them are given as follows. Rate of interest. The rate of interest attracts the inflow of capital. It moves from countries which give a low rate of interest to countries which provide a higher rate of interest on capital flows. Profit. Profit motivates foreign capital movement. It moves to countries where it expects to earn a good rate of return on its investments. The return follows capital investments with a gestation period. Therefore, attractive returns will create an interest for inflows of capital. Production costs. Advanced countries look for opportunities to network with developing countries if the cost of production is low in that country. The cost of labor and raw materials is a decision making factor for a country to make its investments. A low cost in production means that the earnings will be high and there will be profitability. Government policies. The policies relating to inflow of capital encourage or discourage foreign countries to take a decision to invest in a country. If a flexible government policy which is interested in two-way flows is a good precondition for creating a supportive environment for movement of capital. A controlled government with strict policies and closed door interest cannot encourage other countries to bring in capital to its country. The government policies towards tariffs, foreign exchange control, taxation, and foreign collaboration should be carefully prepared if a country is keen on international trade. Political factors. A country which has political stability can influence capital movements. Political stability creates an environment of freedom of occupation, security of life, and reasonable opportunity for making profits. This brings about an interest from foreign countries in making investments. Infrastructural facilities. The facilities provided with respect to movement of goods and human resources as well as an integrated banking and financial system helps to globalize and integrate global trade and capital movements. Problems in foreign capital flows. Foreign capital flows have many advantages for a country, but there are many problems associated with foreign capital flows as discussed below. Legal differences. The legal environment of different countries cannot have a similarity because it is country specific. A law which is required in India may not be required in Singapore because the working system is very different. Before a country decides on capital inflows to another country, it must study the legal and economic environment of the country. If a capital flow has been made and it is not favorable at a later date, it will result in a loss. Therefore, after carefully analyzing the legal situation of investment, one party should decide in making investment in another country. Sometimes within a country laws are region specific. In such a case, the foreign investment has to be made after a careful scrutiny of the regional law. Cultural differences. The methodology of business depends on the culture of a country. For example, in some countries, gifts and commissions are required for conducting business. Another country may not consider such commissions necessary for conducting business. Their policy may be to make direct contacts without any intermediary, whereas the host country may have the cultural system of working through intermediaries. Currency units. The currency units are different from one country to another country. This creates problem of currency convertibility due to exchange rate fluctuations. The euro currency binds 16 countries with one common currency. Hence, business dealings become simpler because converting from one currency to another can bring about losses. Trade restrictions. Some countries impose high import duties and are liberal with export duties. Other countries have both high import and high export duties. This creates a problem of capital inflows, especially in agreements on transfer payments and sale and purchase of specialized items between them. Despite the problems of international capital flows, countries are keen on capital inflows and outflows. The main reasons which can be attributed to such flows are because of the pull and push factors. The pull factors are the forces of attraction which motivate a country to internationalize itself to earn profit and encourage growth within the country. The push factors are the compulsions of saturated markets within a country to internationalize it. Types of international financial instruments. Foreign capital is brought into the country through various financial instruments. These instruments help the institutions to raise capital in foreign currency. The important instruments used for raising foreign capital are discussed as below. Eurobonds. The Eurobond market has different kind of financial instruments. The Eurobonds are unsecured and have a fixed rate of interest. They are redeemable at their face value by the borrower on maturity of the bond. The income on these bonds is exempted from tax deducted at source but has to be reported as part of the income within the country's regulations. Capital gains and losses are possible and they can be transferred easily from one user to another. Eurobonds can be denominated in more than one currency. It is then called a multi-currency bond. Eurobonds can also be equity-linked bonds, euro convertible bonds, floating rate notes, and euro callable bonds. Eurobonds are usually listed on London Stock Exchange. Convertible bonds. The straight bonds were innovated into convertible bonds. These bonds give the option of converting them into equity shares of the borrowing company. The conversion price is fixed above the market price of equity shares on the date of the bond issue. When they are converted, the borrowing company issues new equity shares. Convertible bonds have a lower interest than the straight euro bonds. The instrument is safer than the straight euro bonds because investors get foreign exchange protection. The company issuing convertible bonds has the advantage of paying a low rate of interest and receives a premium on the price of shares. The issuing company also has the advantage of outflow of foreign capital if the bond is not converted into equity shares at the time of redemption. Floating rate bonds. These bonds are issued for short-term period of time. They have a fixed rate of interest. They can be converted into another bond which has the same nominal value but a longer maturity period. These bonds become drop lock bonds when they are automatically converted into fixed bonds with specified rate of interest. Multiple tranche bonds. These are another form of Eurobonds and are issued in small parts of the total bond. The market conditions prevailing in the country provide the basis of decision making to the issuing company for initial issue or the part amount to be issued on the bonds. The subsequent issues are based on the perception of the issuer of the bonds. These bonds are issued when the market conditions project a low rate of interest. Currency option bonds. The currency option bonds involve more than one currency at a time. The bonds give the investor the freedom of buying the bond in one currency and accepting the interest in another currency. The principal sum and the interest can be paid and received respectively in different countries. Floating rate notes. These bonds are little different to the above bonds because they offer adjusted returns periodically. They reflect the changes in short-term money markets by adjusting the rate of interest every 6 months. They resemble euro-dollar bonds in denomination of $1,000 each. The main difference is that they carry spread or margin above 6 months London interbank rate for euro-dollar deposits. Floating rate certificate of deposits. These financial instruments have a floating rate of interest. They are negotiable instruments and can be transferred from one person to another as they are bearer instruments. They have short term interest rates of 6 months, which are adjusted through a spread above the interbank rate of 6 months of the US dollar deposits in LIBOR. Global bonds. Global bonds were issued by the World Bank in 1990. These bonds were economical, had low transaction cost, and high liquidity. These global bonds cost only 10 cents for deals of $25 million. Clearing and settlement costs are also low on these bonds. The number of days for clearing such bonds are also few. It can be borrowed by different currencies depending on the attractive rate of return. Euronotes. Euronotes are global bonds and are known as Euro commercial papers. These notes can be underwritten by banks. If notes are underwritten, there is a commitment by the banks to purchase the bonds. If they are not underwritten, dealers sell them in the open market. These notes are of short term duration and do not have any guarantees. The underwritten as well as non underwritten notes supplement syndicated loans, commercial papers of the US, as well as floating rate notes. In many countries, Euro notes have been popular and they are legally underwritten by banks. Some countries which use the Euro notes are US, Canada, Japan, UK, and France. Interest is paid on these notes. The non bank investors of Euro notes are insurance companies and fund managers. Forward rate agreements. These are agreements between two counterparties to lend or borrow a principal sum of money. One party wants to protect itself against a future fall of interest rate. The other party is interested in protecting itself against a future rise of interest. Both parties agreed to pay an interest rate for a period of 3 months, which would begin after 6 months. On the maturity date, the difference is paid between the agreed rate and current interest rate. This is similar to a financial future contract. It has a fixed settlement date. The FRAs have a maximum trade denominated in USA dollars. Global Depository Receipts, briefly called as GDRs. GDRs are an instrument for raising equity capital by organizations which are in Asian countries. They are placed in the US, Europe, and Asia. They have a low cost and help in bringing liquidity. A company usually raises capital simultaneously from two countries. For example, the GDR may be issued in India and simultaneously placed in the US and Europe through one security. The issuer deals with a single depository bank which facilitates the secondary and intermarket trading among investors which are situated in different countries. It is a fungible instrument and the issuer does not have any exchange risk. He can freely use the foreign exchange collected from this issue. Government of India allowed Indian companies to mobilize funds from foreign markets through euro issues of global depository receipts and foreign currency convertible bonds. Companies with a good track record can issue GDRs for developing infrastructure projects in power, telecommunications, and petroleum, and in construction and development of roads, airports, and ports in India. American Depository Receipts. The American Depository Receipts were started in America in 1920 to invest in overseas markets and to provide a base to non-US companies who wanted to invest in the stock market in the US. American Deposit Receipts, called as ADRs, are securities offered by non-US companies who want to list on any of the US exchange. Each ADR represents a certain number of companies' regular shares. These are deposited in a custodial account in the US. ADRs allow US investors to buy shares of these companies without the cost of investing directly in a foreign stock exchange. ADRs are issued by an approved New York bank or trust company against the deposit of the original shares. When the transactions are made, the ADRs change hands, not the certificates. This eliminates the actual transfer of stock certificates between the US and foreign countries. So, students, in this module, we have learnt about the meaning and concept of foreign capital flows, its importance, factors affecting foreign capital flows, problems in foreign capital flows, and types of instruments used for raising foreign capital. Foreign capital refers to the investment of capital by a foreign government, institution, private individuals, international organization in a country. Foreign capital includes foreign aid, commercial borrowings, and foreign investment. Foreign aid includes foreign grants, concessional loans, etc. Foreign capital is invested in the form of foreign currency, foreign machines, and foreign technical know-how. Foreign capital has many forms like foreign collaborations, loan in the form of foreign currency, investments in equity capital, etc. Foreign capital flows have been playing a key role in promoting international business and cooperation among different countries. Almost every developed country of the world in its initial stages of development had made use of foreign capital to make the deficiency of its domestic savings. It is used as a tool for promoting economic development and to make the balance of payment favorable. Thank you very much.